So good evening everyone, welcome back again in another weekly market outlook. I hope you are good, doing well, enjoying your weekend and getting ready for next week. So first of all, let's look at the website. All right, so TrackTradingAcademy.com, I hope you guys are already aware about that. If you are looking for membership, group membership, or looking to join us for training, or for looking for one-on-one training, just go to TrackTradingAcademy.com and check the membership levels. So you're going to have two levels, group training and one-on-one training. All right, and if you are looking for further information, just fill that form. All right, and send that form to me for further information. Yeah, so I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so if you are looking for social sites where you can follow me for ideas, updates, and trade setups, just simply go to my trading view profile, check the signature box. All right, so go to my trading view profile, wave trader, check the signature box. You're gonna see all links are there. Okay, so for website, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Slack, and Telegram. All right, so now let's look at the setups, some updated setups and some old setups. So we are having, big waves are on its way. So let's look at it quickly on the old setups, and then we're gonna look at the market. All right, so oil, so it's recovering. Oil is recovering. Hopefully you guys know that WTI is recovering, crude is recovering, nicely bouncing up from the lows from zero. Silver is also recovering from the lows. Okay, still there is a lot of potential. So dollar CAD is coming back at the top again. All right, so you're gonna see another opportunity on the dollar CAD again this week. Yeah, so updated chart's gonna be over there on the updated idea. All right, so updated chart going to be over there. So UK oil Brent is also recovering nicely. S&P 500 is dipping, giving another opportunity to buy again the breakout. So we're going to look at that. Same on the NASDAQ 100 index, dipping, forming another correction for buy the breakout for more upside. These are longer term charts, okay, but they are correcting back. So next week there are going to be a potential opportunities for buy the dips. All right, on equities. So Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar also dipping, also correcting. Last week we were expecting it to correct. All right, so correcting, there's going to be opportunity. Euro dollar bouncing up from the bottom. All right, and pushing higher. So euro pound also bounced up from the bottom. We were looking for it to bounce up from the bottom last week. It's short-term buy setup was there on the euro pound. It's bouncing off. All right, so continuation trade gonna be over there on the euro pound. Pound dollar also breaking out the correction for upside. Last week we were looking for it to break out, pushing higher nicely. Pound yen correcting, all right, within the expanding triangle, bounced from the bottom last week. We were looking for breakout, nicely broke out, all right, but still within the correction. Nice opportunity. DXY going down. Last week we were looking DXY to go down. It's dropping from the top, all right, and they're going to be a continuation, or we're going to see another move back within this sideways market. So this is also a good opportunity. Dollar yen, okay, so still pushing lower, slowly dollar yen. We may see rebound on the dollar yen next week, all right, because we gonna look for breakout on the equities, yeah, and some relief on the dollar yen as well. EURCAD getting back to the top again. Last week we were looking for it to break out from the bottom and go back to the top. There's going to be opportunity for EURCAD to go down again. So these are the longer term charts, okay, so price is still gonna stay within those bigger time frame analysis. So dollar CAD, okay, so bouncing back, that bigger correction is just bouncing back. And this is the chart which we were looking last week. We were expecting it to bounce up from the bottom. We got a nice bounce off, all right, and it's going back to the top again. Now this is the updated chart. Hopefully you have seen that. So this is also forming a very nice opportunity again for longer term sell from the top. So short term still going to be a buy over there on the dollar CAD. All right, and natural gas still a buy opportunity. It's building momentum on the lower time frame, natural gas, yeah. And as you guys know that there is a lot of pressure on the oil producers and on the natural gas and the gasoline producer, all right, so they are shutting down their wells, means that price going to go higher in longer term, okay, so building momentum from the bottom. Dow is also correcting on lower time frame. Okay, longer term chart is there, correcting on lower time frame. They're going to be buy the breakout setup for next week. US Russell 2000 correcting. They're going to be buy the breakout setup for next week. Bitcoin pushing higher. Yeah, so we may see, another break low, another wave lower on the Bitcoin. Okay, so it's struggling again over there under the trend line. Okay, so we're going to look at this chart as well. So we may see that wave. Okay, so on breakout like last time. So if you guys remember that. So Bitcoin, so Australian dollar, US dollar, forming very nice flag correction. Okay, so next week you are looking for this correction to break out aggressively for upside. Okay, buy the breakout, put your stop behind that and go higher. Okay, so this is also going to be a good opportunity, so we're going to look at that as well. So dollar CAD, I have just shown you coming back at the top. Bigger time frame analysis also there, you can look at that, but this is also forming a very nice opportunity for selling it again from the top. So let's look at the charts one by one. So this is dollar index. Okay, so dollar index is about to tag the bottom. Okay, last week, if you guys remember that, we were expecting it to go lower from this area. Okay, this wave to happen. So this wave is pretty good, nice. It's going lower aggressively. Let me look at that. Look at the dollar index chart. So dollar index chart you can get from the Telegram as well. So let me get that chart from. Okay, so this is the DXY. Okay, so this is the DXY. So we were expecting this bigger flat formation when price was pushing lower, but we did not see that flat. We were having, you can see that this is also a flat, I mean ABC move. Okay, so last week we had that wave, so we are having that wave. All right, so let me check if we got the DXY chart quickly, and then we're gonna go on. So there you got the last week analysis. Okay, so hopefully you remember that. So this is what it is doing right now. Okay, so we were expecting it to break down, so it's going down nicely. For next week you are looking it to form another correction similar like lower time frame. All right, which it is forming a lower time frame. Okay, so form another one there and keep pushing lower, form another one there, keep pushing lower, form another one there and keep pushing low all the way back to that bottom. Okay, if you're not going to see correction over there and it is bouncing back aggressively from this previous bottom, bouncing back, okay, and correcting, then start looking for buy for another up move back to that top, and again start looking for sell from the top. All right, so that's the Euro DXY. So hopefully you have seen the DXY chart. What is the bigger time frame DXY chart? Okay, so that's the DXY chart for longer term. That's what we are looking. Okay, so bigger move, bigger ABC move over there. Okay, this bigger ABC move, go down, hit that trend line and go back up for another up move. All right, so that's the dollar index bigger time frame analysis, and hopefully you remember the euro dollar analysis as well. Okay, that's the bigger time frame analysis on the euro dollar. Okay, so it's pushing higher on lower time frame. Okay, for last week we were expecting this to happen, right? This move to happen. So last week we were looking for this wedge to break out for upside. So we got a breakout. It's pushing higher now. Okay, for next week, euro. This is the bigger time frame. Hopefully you guys remember that. Okay, so next week you're looking for similar analysis on the euro. Correct on lower time frame. Trend is there. Okay, correct. Push higher. Correct. Push higher. Okay, keep correcting. Keep pushing higher. All right. So once price gonna tag that top, watch it to fall aggressively. Okay, aggressively falling, correcting. Start looking for sell back to that bottom, and from that bottom again buy. So euro dollar is pushing higher nicely. Dollar chief also pushing lower nicely. All right, so we were expecting dollar chief to go lower last week, if you remember that. All right, that's the dollar chief chart. All right, so we were looking for this wave from that top. Hopefully you remember that last week we were looking for dollar chief to drop. Okay, that's the dollar chief chart. This is what I have shown you last week. So same analysis on this chart like the euro dollar. So you look in correction on lower time frame, go down, keep correcting, keep pushing lower, keep correcting, keep pushing lower all the way back to that bottom. Okay, once price gonna attack that bottom and watch it. If bouncing off aggressively, start looking for buyback to that top. Okay, this opportunity gonna be a good opportunity too. All right, from previous bottom. So Australian dollar. Okay, so Australian dollar, you have just seen bigger time frame analysis is similar like last week, hasn't changed a lot. Longer term reversal. Okay, that bigger, reversal for longer term. And on lower time frame, there is a very nice flag. So you're looking simply break out that flag for next week and buy. Okay, there are, flags everywhere on the Australian dollar pairs. Okay, this flag is just forming over there. Very nice flag. Yeah. And classic, you can say that classic flag. So you look in this flag to break out, okay, on your 15-minute time frame. Once you see that the breakout is going to come, just buy that breakout, put stop behind that, and look for it to continue to go higher. Okay, back to that top, back to that trend line. All right, so if breakout is not coming, okay, so if breakout is not coming and price start correcting over there, let's say like this, okay, correcting, then start looking it to break down to the downside. Okay, but that's secondary. So downside is secondary. So you're looking it to break up on this lower time frame. All right, so breakout, you buy, put your stop behind that. Okay, watch this correction, buy more all the way back to that top or the bigger time frame trend line which I have just shown you. So breakout, simply you're looking for this nice flag breakout and you're looking for buy. So what was the last week? This was the flag last week. All right, so that flag to break out and continue to go higher. So you're having another nice flag on it. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Okay, so bigger time frame analysis, same like last week, hasn't changed a lot. Longer term reversal, recovery everywhere. Okay, this recovery. And on lower time frame, similar correction like the Australian dollar you are having over there. Okay, so that correction slightly can get bigger. All right, so if it is going to get bigger slightly, it's going to be a good. Okay, back to this bottom. Yeah, and you're looking for this correction to break out and go higher all the way back to that top. Okay, and if not breaking out, correcting over there. All right, then one more leg lower all the way back to that bottom. Okay, we are not anticipating that leg. Okay, we are anticipating this flag to break out and continue to go higher, recovery. That's the New Zealand dollar US dollar chart. Breakout and go higher. Australian pound dollar, we got the breakout last week, that flag, we got the breakout and it's pushing higher. There is a flag. Okay, so you are looking at another breakout next week and continue to go higher. Correct, keep pushing higher. Correct, keep pushing higher all the way back to the 35. All right, so if we're going to look at the bigger time frame analysis on the pound dollar, that's what we are looking, okay, for longer term reversal. So we got a bounce off, very nice bounce off from the bottom. Okay, so there, okay, there is the correction on lower time frame. That correction to break out, keep pushing higher. Correct, keep pushing higher. Correct, keep pushing higher all the way back to the, previous top up to 140. So that's the longer term analysis. On lower time frame, this correction. Okay, once market gonna open, you look in this flag to break out. Okay, break out aggressively and keep pushing higher. All right, so if not breaking, okay, if breakout is not coming, and keep pushing lower slowly all the way back to this area or this previous low, stay bullish. All right, so stay bullish on the pound dollar for longer term. So that's the pound dollar chart. There you got the dollar CAD chart. Okay, so dollar CAD chart, you have seen the bigger time frame analysis, the bigger time frame analysis on the dollar CAD. Okay, that's the bigger time frame analysis. So we are having a recovery on oil prices, which is a good sign for longer term on the CAD strength. Okay, so there you are looking for all right, so expanding triangle to form and that triangle to continue to go lower. So this big opportunity is still there. So last week we were looking for a flag. All right, so there was a flag on lower time frame at these areas. Okay, this yes, price went higher and then pushing lower. Okay, so there was a flag and that flag broken down, and then we were looking it to go back up in our room. All right, this is a bigger time frame. Make sure you keep that to bigger time frame in your mind. Okay, for longer term reversal on the dollar against the CAD and recovery on the oil prices. So this is what we were expecting. Expanding triangle. We get a very nice bounce up from the bottom. We got a flag. Price is pushing higher. Okay, price is somewhere there. So you're looking at another correction and that correction to break out, hit that top and sharp sell from that top. Once you're going to see that sharp sell is coming, get into the trade, stop, correction, and keep looking long-term reversal on it for downside. Okay, or you can add even more downside on the dollar CAD for longer term reversal as well. Okay, so if we're going to look at the lower time frame, all right, so this is the 4-hour time frame, another correction to form, push higher. All right, if correction is not forming and the dollar CAD is breaking before forming correction, currently correction is already there. All right, so you see that the trend is there, very nice, and corrections are just forming, prices keep pushing higher. Form another one, currently it is breaking. Okay, so form another one, breakout. Okay, tag that top and sharp sell. Okay, intra, stop, correction, continue to go lower. Yeah, if this move is not coming, okay, and it is breaking aggressively, this trend, start selling it. That's the dollar CAD chart. Okay, so dollar yen to go back up for another up move, all right, and form that expanding triangle or simple ABC move. All right, go back up, short term buy, and from that top start looking for a sell. Okay, so this trade for next week. Go to the lower time frame. There is a correction, all right, and this correction to break up for the upside. Okay, this correction. Okay, you got the move, you had a correction over there, all right, this correction to break out and continue to go higher. Put your stop behind that, watch this breakout and look for it to continue to go higher. All right, so what is the bigger time frame analysis on the dollar yen? Bigger time frame analysis is this. Okay, so longer term drop, okay, and similar kind of formation on dollar yen, which I have just shown you on the dollar CAD chart. Okay, and then continue to go lower. All right, so that's the dollar yen chart. Short term, one more up move back to that top. Okay, so euro yen, nice analysis we had last week on it. All right, we were looking for it to bounce up from the bottom. This is bigger time frame analysis. So for next week, you are looking this move to happen. All right, so recovery on the euro against the yen. So you got a bounce off, very nice bounce off last week. So you're looking this correction to slightly gap bigger for next week. Correction is already there. Okay, so correction to slightly gap bigger and then breakout and go back up. Okay, if not breaking and testing this low again. Okay, so start looking for buy again this move. Okay, so correction is already happening. It has moved away from the bottom more than 200 pips. All right, very aggressively. So you look in this correction, which is just developing over there, that correction to break out and continue to go higher. Okay, that's the dollar yen. Pound yen, same analysis like the euro, very much same analysis like the euro yen. Okay, so let me bring the pound yen chart, longer term pound yen chart. So that's the pound dollar, that's the pound yen. Okay, both are same. This is what you are looking for longer term. There is a correction which is getting slightly bigger on daily time frame. Okay, that to break out. Hopefully you remember that. Okay, the last time correction. So it's turning into that bigger correction. So we're going to go back to the previous chart. All right, so last time we were looking for same analysis, bounce up from the bottom, it bounced off, went higher. Okay, and hopefully we're gonna have the updated. So we don't have update there. Okay, but there was a chart on the 8-hour time frame. Okay, on pound yen. Okay, so but that correction was more ideal than the correction which we are having right now. Okay, so that correction I was talking about. So we are having similar correction right now on the pound yen. Okay, so not exactly same, but you can see that it's okay. Okay, so you look in this to break out for next week as well. Hopefully you got the idea what it is doing on a bigger time frame, what it has done in past. All right, what kind of correction it has given you in past, and what it is doing right now. Okay, so it's a correction. Okay, so bigger correction on a daily time frame. So you look in this correction to break out next week and price to continue for the next leg for upside. Okay, so if correction is getting bigger, testing that bottom, this previous low, you're looking it to break out. So last week we were looking for that breakout. Okay, this correction. So that correction broke out. Let's go to the lower time frame. Very nice correction. It's sharp correction. Okay, that sharp correction to break out next week, and pound yen to continue to go higher. Okay, now you see. Get what it is doing. You got the move. Correction is there. Breakout. And continue to go higher. Alright. So Euro Pound. Last week I was showing you ABC move. We were looking for buy on this chart from the bottom last week. We had a nice move up from this low. Okay. This move. So for next week you are looking for this ABC move. Okay. Price to tag that top and continue to go lower. Okay. Alright. Continue to go lower or this short-term trade. Okay, back to that bottom, similar like that. What is the bigger time frame analysis? Bigger time frame analysis is there on my trading view profile. Okay, this chart is behaving very nicely. Okay, so if you're going to look at the past chart, to just figure it out that what it has done in the past and what it may do again. Okay, that was the wave from the top, and when it was correcting, what we were looking for on lower time frame, continue to go lower. Okay, it went lower, and when we were looking for it to go higher from the bottom, all right, then it went higher from the bottom. All right, and what we were looking for when it was at the low from this low, okay, that's the bottom on a weekly time frame chart. This is 240 time frame, and we were looking for a reversal on the euro pound from 83. Okay, for longer term reversal from that bottom. So we got that longer term reversal on the euro pound from the bottom, and what we were looking for on the euro pound from the top. Okay, this chart. So we got the sell now. So hopefully you understand what price has done there, what price has done there. Okay, now what it has done there from the top and what it should do now from within these areas. Okay, go down. This move back to that bottom. Okay, so this trade is still there. Okay, all right, so if we're going to look at the lower time frame analysis is euro pound to keep pushing higher. Okay, so from another correction over there, which is just there, okay, this correction, so this to break out, tag that top, okay, and then aggressive sell from that top, correct, and continue to go lower. All right, okay, so short term go higher, tag that top and continue to go lower. Okay, if not tagging this top and breaking lower aggressively, just get into the trade, stop behind that and look for this trade and break down that bottom and continue to keep pushing lower. Okay, so pound shift chart is also similar like the pound yen and the pound dollar chart. Okay, so longer term reversal from the bottom, go higher, and on current time frame, similar analysis like the euro pound. Okay, so the correction is there. We were looking for sell in our own last week at that top. We are having that sell, complete that sell there at that bottom and bounce off from that bottom, correct, and continue for the next leg. All right, that's the pound chief. Pound CAD, go down simply. Pound CAD is struggling at the top. Okay, this is a bigger flat formation. So we are bullish on the other pound pairs and just bearish on this pair. All right. So bearish on this and bearish on the pound Australian dollar as well, and neutral on the pound New Zealand dollar. Okay, so go down this short term sell back to that bottom or go all the way back to the previous low. So CADCHF, all right, so short move. Okay, so bounce off, correct, and go higher. Okay, if not bouncing off, correcting, pushing lower, buy again from the bottom. Okay, what is the bigger time frame analysis? The bigger time frame analysis is the recovery from the previous lows on the pound, on the CADCHF. All right, so pound Australian dollar, bigger time frame analysis is still same. Let's look at the weekly time frame chart. All right, so we had a crash on this chart. There should be a 2 days. All right, So we had a crash on this pair, okay, crash, and then again it's coming back into the bigger, you know, correction, bigger weekly correction. So it is correcting on lower time frame. Okay, now this correction to break down and continue to go lower. Okay, if we're going to look at the lower time frame, this correction still sharp for upside and pushing higher. Okay, now this correction, this sharp correction to break down aggressively, entry, stop, and look for it to correct and continue to go lower. Okay, if push another leg, push for another leg, okay, then watch this to break down. Okay, so stay bearish and watch it to break down and continue to go lower. All right, so pound New Zealand dollar is also a bearish. Okay, so correct and continue to go lower back to that bottom or more downside, but not a best opportunity. Okay, so not a pound New Zealand dollar is not a best opportunity. So that's the pound New Zealand dollar. Okay, so stay bearish. So CAD yen, there is a triangle. Okay, so it is turning into symmetrical triangle. All right, so price can stay, you know, for a while in that symmetrical triangle before you're going to get direction on the CAD yen. Okay, so CAD is still under pressure because of the oil prices. So a breakdown for another leg lower and then recovery. Okay, back to this previous low. Last week I was showing you a breakout on the flag. Okay, this triangle, symmetrical triangle, to break down for another leg lower, form new low or test the historical lows, and then recovery. If I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, it's already breaking the flag which I was talking about last week. Okay, that flag, it's broken and pushing lower. Okay, so there is not a, if you are looking for sell from the current price, okay, it's not at the best spot where you can get a good entry. Yeah, so you can get a sell over there on lower time frame if you watch lower time frame corrections, you know, and follow those lower time frame corrections, then you can get the trade over there. Okay, but getting trade over there is slightly risky over there. Okay, but because price still can go back up. All right, so yeah, so the best place to get into the trade on the CAD yen is that top. Okay, that top. Yeah, at that top, price going to change into another pattern formation. Yeah, this symmetrical triangle going to change into sideways or flat formation and then continue to go lower. Okay, this is the structure right now. So symmetrical triangle to break down and continue to go lower. Okay, so it's tricky to trade on the symmetrical triangle at the current prices. All right, so I would suggest you to let the price go back up all the way back to that top. Okay, so flat formation, similar analysis like the last week, and then continue to go lower. If not, testing that top and pushing lower. Okay, testing this previous bottom, then look for short-term buy. That's how you can trade. Yeah, you can sell it from the highs, you can buy it from the lows. Okay, but if you're gonna trade within the sideways market, okay, then you can trap yourself over there. Yeah, if you still want to trade on the lower time frames, okay, and you want to trade, then follow these corrections. Okay, follow these corrections. Correction to breakout, form another one, and keep pushing lower. So that's the CAD yen. So USD yen break up. Okay, that's the bigger time frame analysis. 4-hour time frame. So bigger time frame analysis is very much same like the last week. All right, so we are still in a downtrend on the USD yen. Prices pushing lower. Okay, and it's turning into a daily correction. Daily correction, very nice daily correction. At some point, that daily correction gonna break down. So on lower time frame, you are looking for breakup. Okay, similar like the Australian dollar, US dollar. So break up, entry, stop, and go for another up move. Okay, how far that move goes, just follow that. There is possibility that price is not gonna go that much far away, okay, and gonna struggle at this previous top and then gonna drop. So breakout, okay, breakout this trade. First of all, set your target there. Yeah, if it goes higher aggressively, then stay into the trade. Okay, if not breaking and breaking down sharply, okay, wait for this correction to happen. Okay, wait for this correction to happen and then start selling. Okay, this correction will confirm that it is going to visit the low. If correction is not going to form, yeah, price still going to go back up. So If you're a seller, then make sure you wait for the correction to happen and then you start selling the Australian dollar against the yen. Okay, breakout, entry, stop, go higher. Hopefully you got the idea. All right, so USDCAD, USDCHF. Okay, so same analysis on the USDCHF. Bigger time frame trend is still bearish, still aggressive bearish to the downside. All right, this weekly time frame and daily time frame also recovering back to the, this bigger daily correction, sharp correction is happening. Okay, so this sharp correction still can push higher. So you're looking for breakup next week. Okay, you can see there the correction is very nice and classic correction. Okay, so that correction to breakout, entry, don't buy the you can even buy before the breakout, okay, but it's risky buying before the breakout. So wait for the breakout, get into the trade and let the price continue to keep pushing higher. Okay, so put your stop behind that and that move. Okay, and from that top either correct or drop aggressively. Okay, for sell, move already happened, correction already happened from the top. Don't get into the trade for the downside without having that correction. All right, so if I'm going to go to the lower time frame, very nice. If I'm going to make it more simple, these are the corrections. You just look in these corrections to break up or upside. That's it on the Australian pairs. All right, correction, break up, stop, continue to go higher, and just manage your position. Okay, very much same analysis on the Australian dollar and CAD correction. Okay, this correction, breakout, and go for next leg. If I'm going to go to the bigger time frame first, and then lower. Okay, bigger time frame analysis is still bearish. All right, still bearish. Okay, on lower time frame, 4-hour time frame, break up. Okay, break up, continue to go higher. How far that move goes, just follow. Okay, if correct again, stay bullish. If correct again, longer term bullish. All right, if falling aggressively, join that fall, correction, back to that bottom. Okay, but next week, breakout for another up leg. Okay, so Kiwi Yen, breakdown. Okay, so Kiwi Yen, this correction, breakdown. All right, let's go back to that bottom. So you're looking it to go lower from this previous top. Okay, where you can see my alert is there, and very much same symmetrical triangle you can see that is forming on the Kiwi Yen against the Kiwi forming symmetrical triangle against the yen and CAD. Okay, so we are having sharp correction on the USD against the yen. Okay, so they can still push higher and the prices can stay sideways against the yen on Kiwi yen and CAD yen. Okay, so that's the reason we are bearish. All right, so you're looking for this to break out and hold the top. All right, hold the top, breakout, and continue to go lower. So on a bigger time frame, one more drop. Okay, so keep pushing lower slowly. It can push up to these lows for longer term. Okay, first of all, this low. All right, this low, hit that low. So if we're gonna look at the lower time frame, as I have just shown you, price to struggle there where my alarm is. Okay, so don't break above that, hold that top, and continue to go lower. So same analysis on the Kiwi Chief. Okay, breakout, another next leg. Okay, so breakout, entry, stop, go higher for next leg. Okay, and from that next leg, correct and continue to go higher or drop aggressively. So for sell, all right, for sell, you make sure you see this correction. Okay, make sure you see that correction before you starting sell. Okay, so you look in this nice correction to break up for next week. If I'm gonna go to the lower time frame, okay, price is already trying to break out, but it's really slow. Okay, so this flag to break up, breakout, entry, stop, correction on 15-minute time frame, keep pushing higher. How far that goes, just follow that. On bigger time frame, okay, it can push much higher. All right, so it can push much higher all the way back to that trend line before we're going to see a drop on it. So break out that flag. So Euro New Zealand dollar, very much same. Very nice classic correction is just forming over there. Okay, that correction to break out and continue to go lower. Okay, if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, okay, further lower, 15-minute time frame. Okay, as long as price stay above that trend line, okay, wait. As long as price stay above that trend line, wait for the price to finish the move. Okay, it can easily break out for another up leg. So sharp breakdown of that trend line. If sharp breakdown is coming, get in, stop, correction, more corrections, and keep pushing lower. All right, so this nice 4-hour correction to break out, and Euro New Zealand dollar to keep pushing lower. Okay, and stay trending to the downside. Okay, so CAD, not a best opportunity, but longer term reversal on this chart too. Okay, so you can say that we are neutral on this chart. So longer term reversal, not a best opportunity. So EUROCHF, hopefully you remember the bigger time frame analysis. Yeah, so this chart is still same, hasn't changed a lot on a bigger time frame, but it has changed slightly on lower time frame. Okay, so this correction to break up. All right, so price to slightly push lower, okay, and break out. Okay, this correction to break out, watch these lows for buy. All right, for buys, and this move. Okay, if not breaking that trend line, going down, short term sell back to the low. Okay, this previous low, like that sell, and again break up for upside from the lows. Okay, so EUROCHF, longer term reversal recovery. So now let's look at the Euro Australian dollar. All right, so longer term reversal, and on a lower time frame, let me show you the 4-hour time frame first. Okay, so again, classic correction is just there on this chart too. All right, so that to break out, entry, stop behind that, and continue to go lower. All right, so if we're going to look at the weekly time frame analysis, is still same like last week. All right, so that's the bigger time frame analysis. If I'm going to go to the 15-minute time frame analysis, okay, so on 15-minute time frame analysis, price is still bullish. As long as price stay above that trend line, wait, don't get into the trade. Okay, so short-term bullish. Okay, so it can break out and can go higher for another up leg. Okay, so you're waiting for this sharp move to come. Sharp sell, entry, stop, corrections, keep selling. Okay, so keep selling all the way back to that bottom or for longer term to the downside. All right, so if breaking aggressively from the current price, watch it. Entry, correction, sell more. Okay, sell more all the way back to that bottom. So clear on Australian dollar, you're looking this classical chart pattern or classical flag to break down and continue to go lower. Okay, if I'm gonna quickly show you this flag is there on the Australian dollar, flag is there on the Euro Australian dollar. All right, and the flag is there on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Okay, that flag to break out to for the next week. So breakout, entry, yeah. Stop behind that, entry there on breakout on lower time frame and go higher. How far that move goes, follow. Okay, it can push up to 110. Okay, what is the bigger time frame analysis? Bigger time frame analysis is there. Okay, breaking out, aggressively pushing higher. Okay, so there we are having flag where you can see the bigger weekly candle closed very strong bearish. Okay, so go higher back to that top, test that top, or slightly much higher back to these areas, or test that trend line and then drop. Okay, so if I'm gonna go to the lower time frame, it is currently still in a correction. All right, so by the way, I think the chart we had there. Okay, that's the chart last week, which I have shown you in last week. All right, so watch for that correction. So we are having that correction. Okay, so we were expecting that correction. We are having that correction. Okay, now next week we're expecting it to break out. all right, and continue to go higher. Okay, so there on this lower time frame, price is still bearish. Okay, still in a correction. All right, and this to break out aggressively. Break out, get into the trade, and watch it to continue to go higher. Okay, that's the Australian dollar and EUROCAD. Okay, so EUROCAD, bigger time frame analysis, still there. All right, so EUROCAD, there you got. Weekly chart, go lower. Yeah, what price is doing? Coming back again to the top, trying to test the top. So last week we were looking for buy on it, short to medium term buy on the EUROCAD. If I'm gonna look at the chart, yeah, so chart is there back into the channel. So it will take some time to bring that chart back to you guys. Okay, so I can show you this. Okay, so the other one will take some time to bring back. All right, so we were expecting price to go higher. You know, this is the updated chart. Okay, this is what you are looking for next week. All right, so let me quickly bring that chart back. If I'm gonna have that chart, then we'll let you know that what you should look for next week before you're gonna start trading on this chart. Yeah, there we got. Okay, so we were looking, this is what I have shown you, by the way, in the last weekly market outlook. All right, so price to bounce up from the bottom, flag was, all right, so this flag, so the flag that appeared over there and short term buy. Yeah, but correction slightly went lower, right, and then bounce off. So there was a short to medium term buy. Okay, and the next updated chart. All right, so this is what we were looking. So that's what we are having right now, okay, on the EUROCAD. So for next week, you are looking on EUROCAD to tag the top. All right, so lower time frame, correct for another time, and continue to go higher. Okay, so once price going to tag that top, bigger weekly chart I have just shown you, start selling it from the top. So on lower time frame, okay, if you're going to look at the lower time frame, 15-minute time frame, still in a correction. If I'm going to draw a trend line there, euro is strong. All right, okay, this correction to keep pushing higher. Okay, keep pushing higher, slowly tag that top and drop. Okay, correct, sell more, correct, sell more, all the way back to the top, back to the bottom. Okay, if not pushing higher pushing higher for this move and falling aggressively, start selling, put stop behind that correction, continue to go lower. Okay, either wait for the price to tag the top for the sell. Okay, if not tagging the top, breaking the trend. Okay, this trend line, aggressively breaking that trend line, start selling, put your stop behind that and sell it. Okay, so that's the currency market, guys. Okay, hopefully you are there. Okay, now let's look at the rest of the market. All right, so commodities and equities. So oil, what is the bigger time frame analysis on the oil? Oil to reverse from the bottom. All right, so oil went lower, WTI went below zero, WTI, all right, and it's bouncing very aggressively from the bottom. All right, Alex, I will look at that. Let me finish the oil and others. Okay, so it's bouncing back, and this is what we are having right now on it. All right, so it's bouncing back. That bigger descending channel is there. For next week, we are having recovery on oil. Okay, so next week, this correction to breakout and price to keep pushing up to 25 or 30 area. Okay, this correction to slightly get bigger. Breakout, continue to go higher. Okay, keep pushing higher, keep pushing it up to 30. If correction is not breaking, okay, and price is dipping for another move lower, Okay, like that. Like last week we have seen, we were buying oil, you know, aggressively. Yeah, we were buying oil, you know, even close to 2. Yeah, we were buying oil. So hopefully you guys are also buying oil. Yeah, because it was so cheap. Okay, so but yes, there is a super contango at the moment. Yes, spot price is different than the future prices. Okay, there is almost more than $3 and $50 you know, difference between the spot price and the future price. All right, so if another move is going to happen, yeah, that move is going to happen, prices pushing lower, then you're gonna get the cheaper spot price on oil. Yeah, maybe below 10, close to 9, 7 or 6 areas. We are not anticipating spot price to go there again up to 6, but if it is going to do that, you can buy. And another thing, if you're buying oil as a CFD, there may be a huge rollover cost, all right? And if you're buying oil as a spot price, they're going to be higher swap cost. Make sure you calculate that before buying oil, okay? Oil is cheap. Everyone know that oil is cheap, okay? And obviously brokers are not going to give you this opportunity free of cost, okay? So they're going to make, obviously they're going to make money from oil, from cheap oil prices. Yeah, how are they going to make money? By charging you high swap cost, right? So the longer the trade you're going to hold on oil, the higher the swap cost going to be. So make sure you calculate that. All right, make sure you calculate that trade cost on oil before you're gonna start trading on oil. Okay, so for next week, this correction to break out and continue to go higher on UK oil, on Brent, same analysis. Okay, so Brent bounced off from the bottom. Okay, Brent is also bouncing off from the bottom. So market is recovering. So oil market is recovering. We are having, you know, demand is picking up, and supply shock is going to come in next couple of months to weeks to months. All right, so we're going to see supply shock because oil is cheap, and the producers are shutting down their wells. Okay, definitely, which is going to create a supply shock. Okay, why prices are still cheap? Because there is a lot of inventory. Okay, all right, a lot of oil inventory, which is driving still, you know, driving the oil prices lower. So world is currently using inventory. Okay, so once that inventory gonna go away, and also OPEC countries are going to cut. All right, OPEC agreement is in force from 1st of May. Okay, all these scenarios are creating, you know that creating opportunity for oil to go longer term higher. Okay, so Brent also broke out this flag. Okay, so last week I was asking you to watch for that flag to break out. Okay, so it broke out, and contract CFD contract expired on 29th of April last week. Yeah, and for next week, this correction, okay, another correction is already there, so it can slightly get bigger, similar like that. Okay, once that correction gonna get bigger, you're looking for it to break out and continue to go higher up to 30 or 35. Yeah, this can easily go up to 30, 35. All right, so the UK oil. So you're looking for that next leg for longer term reversal. So first of all, you're looking this move, okay, up to 30, 36, and longer term go much higher. So that's the oil. Now let's look at the S&P 500. Okay, so simple analysis for next week. Breakout, correction is there, breakout, and continue to go higher. Okay, if correction get bigger, test that bottom, watch this bottom and breakout, and buy is there. Okay, what is the bigger time frame analysis? Bigger time frame analysis is there. That's the bigger time frame analysis. Okay, that's what you are looking. Continue to keep pushing higher. Okay, pulling back, continue to keep pushing higher. All right, so NASDAQ 100 index also similar. Right, so NASDAQ 100 index chart, we're going to look at that. So let's look at the silver. So silver chart, there is the silver chart. All right, so price bounced off from the bottom. We are having correction. All right, so this correction is getting bigger. Next week, breakout. Okay, if testing the bottom 1450, hopefully you guys remember the last week I was showing you, asking you to wait for the price to take that bottom for buy. Okay, it's testing. So next week breakout. Okay, so watch for 1450 or $14 for buy for the next leg on silver. So that's the silver chart. UK oil you have seen, natural gas. Okay, natural gas is also building the momentum for longer term reversal from the bottom, and the chart is there. Okay, that's what you are looking. Longer term reversal. It's historical low. Prices at a historical low. All right, so it's building momentum on lower time frame. Next week, go down for another leg lower. Short term sell from this previous top 190 or 195. All right, go down, tag that bottom, hit that bottom, take your profit, and start looking for longer term reversal from the 150, 155, or 160 areas. All right, so we have seen the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Okay, now let's look at the gold. Okay, gold to break out. Okay, gold to break out of that flag. Okay, we were expecting buy setup last week. I have shown you that flag formation in the last weekly market outlook, if you guys remember that. Okay, so that flag formation to break out and continue to go higher. That next leg. Okay, up to 1800. All right, first of all 1750 and then 1800. So on lower time frame, wait for the price to tag this previous bottom. All right, or 1660. Okay, and then break out that flag for upside. So you're looking for this next leg for next week on the gold. All right, so WTI I have just shown you. All right, the UK oil or WTI both. Okay, so this channel to break up. NASDAQ 100 index to break out. What is the bigger time frame analysis on the NASDAQ 100 index? The bigger time frame analysis is there. All right, so very nice bounce off, recovery, very nice recovery from the previous bottom. On next week on lower time frame, continue to go higher. Okay, and tag that top and then start going lower. Okay, after hitting that top, then start going lower. Okay, then react to data. Okay, then start to react to data. So Fed is driving the prices right now. Okay, by putting a lot of money into the market. Once things gonna get back to normal, when we're gonna have a normal market, then start reacting. Then equity start to react to the fundamentals or economic data. All right, so next week correction back to that bottom and then breakout and next leg. Okay, test that top. Okay, so buy setup going to be over there on the S&P, the NASDAQ 100 index as well. German 30, similar analysis. Okay, so breakout, it's rising but rising really slow. Okay, but breakout setup is over there too on the German 30. Okay, on a bigger time frame, it has already recovered. Okay, hopefully you remember that I have shown you that chart. Yeah, so it has recovered a lot on lower time frame. You see that I have shown you flags almost everywhere, so it's correlation. So currently it's a recession market and you are having flags everywhere. Okay, so there are going to be only two things, either recovery, either collapse. Okay, either collapse or a Great Depression. Okay, so recovery will break all these flags for upside. Okay, which we are having right now, recovery. So breakout and continue to go higher. Okay, so US 30 or Dow chart is there, bigger time frame analysis chart. So I posted that chart slightly late. Okay, but we were bullish on all US equities. Yeah, I posted that chart slightly late on the TV. Okay, but you are having correction on lower time frame. Okay, at there, this 1 hour time frame correction to slightly get back to that bottom. Okay, so get slightly bigger and then breakout. Okay, and tag that top. Yeah, so keep pushing higher. So very nice correction is there on, I'm going to remove that projection. So very nice correction. Okay, so it can break it before hitting this previous low. See that? So why I have placed over there, so that correction can get slightly bigger and you can get a good entry from these previous lows. All right, and now let's look at the Bitcoin. What is the analysis? That's the bigger time frame analysis. All right, so we may see another leg lower before we're going to see more upside on the Bitcoin. Okay, that leg lower. How are you going to trade on this? Let's get back to the old chart. So on old chart, we were having almost similar analysis. Okay, so what price done? Price slightly went higher. Okay, slightly went higher and then went lower very aggressively and formed correction and then went lower very aggressively. Okay, so let's look at the update. That's the updated chart. Watch price action for breakup. If don't, then short term sell. Okay, if price test bottom, watch price action for buy. All right, so that was the updated chart. Okay, so watch for sharp breakup. All right, so we got a correction, sharp breakup. Okay, we got a sharp breakdown at that flag. Okay, so same analysis again. Okay, nothing new. Then we were looking for recovery from the bottom. We got the recovery on the Bitcoin. Now this is the updated chart. Okay, hopefully you understand that after looking at this chart, how you're gonna trade on the Bitcoin. Okay, if I'm gonna go to the lower time frame, so correct. All right, so correct and push higher. Okay, and sharp sell, correction, go lower. Okay, if sharp sell is not coming from there, sharp sell is coming from here, sell it, get into the trade, stop behind that. All right, and correction and go down. All right, so platinum continue to go higher. All right, so platinum slightly push back to that bottom and continue to go higher. So copper correction, go back up. We're going to look at the bigger time frame, flat formation. All right, so this is the bigger time frame analysis on lower time frame. Okay, so this correction to slightly get bigger, this ABC move. All right, so go down and break up, buy. So Palladium also going to be a buy back to 3,000. All right, so sharp breakup, get into the trade and look for that move. Okay, if not, sharp breakup is not coming, one more drop is coming back to this low. Okay, so start looking for buy. All right, so dollar rand went higher. Okay, so last week we were looking at it to continue to go higher. In our room, we were expecting that flat formation to continue to go higher. Okay, so correct, keep pushing higher. All right, up to 20. All right, if it is not forming that flag, let the price get back to that bottom. Okay, stay bullish. Short term buy up to 20. Make sure you use your stop loss over there. Okay, don't buy dollar rand at the top without stop loss. Ignore the weekly candle. Okay, and on a bigger time frame, this bigger correction is due. Okay, for recovery. And dollar Mexicano, dollar peso. Okay, bigger time frame, correction. All right, so bigger time frame, that correction, and on a lower time frame, still short term bullish. Okay, so if you're selling the dollar peso, then make sure you trade with care. Okay, so it's still bullish. All right, so go slightly higher and then drop. Okay, so dollar, Hong Kong dollar, longer term recovery. All right, so let's look at the weekly time frame. All right, so go higher. All right, and dollar Chinese yuan. So continue to go higher. Dollar against the Chinese yuan, continue to go higher. If I'm going to go slightly in a bigger time frame. Okay, so it's already breaking and continue to go higher. Okay, so this flag is breaking and continue to go higher. All right, and on US Russell 2000, hopefully you have seen the bigger time frame analysis. US Russell 2000, we were looking to continue to go higher. Okay, correction. We had that correction. Another correction, we were anticipating that correction to form. Now we are having that correction. Okay, the next week breakout and continue to go higher. Okay, if I'm going to look at the updated chart, 1 hour time frame. Okay, so recovery. So next week breakout, breakout, entry, stop, and continue to go higher. Okay, on UK 100 index. Okay, so same like the US Russell 2000. Okay, so breakout, entry, stop, continue to keep pushing higher for longer term. So Euro Stock 50 is also same. Okay, so there is a 1 hour correction on lower time frame. That correction to break out and continue to go higher. Put your stop behind that. So bullish, stay bullish on the equities for next week. Okay, so this too. All right, so this chart too. Okay, so we had the breakout on the previous corrections. Okay, so we were expecting these breakouts to happen. Breakout, yeah, breakout. This, expanding triangle to continue to go higher. Okay, so now this correction to breakout and continue to go higher too. Okay, on a bigger time frame, recovery. Okay, go all the way back to the top. Nikkei index. Okay, on a lower time frame, breakout. This flag. Okay, breakout, entry, stop, reverse. All right, and Frankfurt also breakout. Okay, this flag to breakout and continue to go higher. So is there anything else, guys? I think enough for this week. So all right, everyone, that's it. Enough for this week. Hopefully you have enjoyed that. And if you're looking for group membership, just simply go to the techtrainingacademy.com. All right. So have a great week. Enjoy your weekend, and a profitable week. We'll see you back again in another weekly market outlook next week. All right. So until then, bye-bye.